Would really be bad.
Welcome to Sports Back Talk with Boley and Ringer, and Mike, Happy New Year!
Yeah, Happy New Year, 2018.
Here we go. We're all set, and of course that means football kind of takes the spotlight, I would say, over the next couple of weeks as we cruise towards the Super Bowl, and so that means the NFL and getting things started. You don't even have a piece of paper with you.
No,
it's all mind trapped right in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
any surprises last weekend as far as things went? I mean, not with the Vikings or anybody else. Some surprise that got in, didn't get in, whatever.
Well, before I get to that, I kind of want to go to Vegas the weekend of the 19th.
Okay.
That would be semifinal Sunday. 2 games on Sunday only.
Yeah.
Even though I think it would be more fun in Vegas this weekend and the following weekend because you got 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday.
Right.
I don't know. I'm still trying to work my wife. She has not given me the time of day when I bring it up.
What did you screw up on?
I don't know. Well, she just tells me all the time I do stuff on a whim and I don't care about how much anything costs. I just go. So I shouldn't be saying this on TV because that's not fair to her. because I'm the idiot. I mean, I'm the one that just kind of throws it out there. But anyways.
So are we going to save the picks for the end? Do we want to do them now? What
was your first question before I?
Were there any surprises from the weekend?
Oh, yeah. I think Baltimore getting beat was a surprise. And unfortunately for Cincinnati fans, they got to pay for it for the next 2 years.
Yeah, what have you been hearing on that whole Marvin Lewis thing? 3 weeks ago they play the Vikings. He's done. It's all over, and then he signs a 2-year extension.
Well, I kind of feel, I don't know, smart, kind of more of an idiot because I don't know if you watch. What is it, Golick and Wingo now in the morning instead of Mike and Mike?
Yeah, I don't want.
Which I like. I like Golick and Wingo, but I don't like Golick, Wingo, and Little Golick. They can leave Little Golick at home. He doesn't belong there. He's actually a 12-year-old. He's always goofing around with guys on the side, and he's doing all kinds of immature. Yeah, let's get to the stuff. I like big Golick, but I don't like little. And both the Golicks were basically cutting down Cincinnati and the city of Cincinnati, the organization of Cincinnati, for bringing back Marvin Lewis for 2 more years. And I have to agree with them. I don't understand that move at all. But who's to say they're going to get a quality coach to want to go to Cincinnati when there's so many openings this year? So, boy, there's the Detroit job looks like. Listening to John Gruden this morning. He's a definite in Oakland / Vegas.
Yeah, and they're gonna offer him partial ownership.
He denied that.
Okay.
He came right on live TV and denied that has not even been discussed. He doesn't know where it came from. Okay. So whoever, all reporters are. They all try to be the first. And
absolutely.
Somebody brought that up, and he said that there's no way part of this at all. He didn't deny it, but he did deny it.
Right.
And he didn't even say, if they asked me, I might think about it. He flat out said this didn't happen. But Gruden, that's we'll see. 11 years away from the game, lots has changed. The quarterbacks, the way they play the game now, and he is the quarterback guy. And I think he looks at Derek Carr and saying, boy, I know I can fix this kid.
So does it become a Dick Vermeil type thing? Dick Vermeil was the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, late 70s, early 80s.
Yep.
Walked away from the game, went and did football with Brent Musburger, blah, blah, blah. Came back and took Los Angeles.
We both remember why Vermeil got out.
Well,
it was burnout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so he decided to go back in and get burnt out again. With the LA Rams and Kansas City, of course, were the 2 teams. But be some interesting hires here over the next 3-4 weeks. I know Shermer's being mentioned. I don't see it. Some people are made to be
head coaches,
and some are made to be assistants.
Yeah.
Shermer's not meant to be a head coach, so I'd be real surprised if he did get one.
Were you surprised that Caldwell got fired at Detroit?
Very surprised.
I mean, 9-7.
To me, they have someone in mind that's already kind of agreed to. That's the only reason that makes sense. He's the winning record, playoffs 2 out of the last 4 years. Prior to that, they hadn't been in the playoffs for 17 years. So that to me was a big surprise. We'll see. I think they really want the guy from New England, the defensive coordinator.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens there. There's a couple hot commodities out there, but nobody's going to find a McVay out there. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah.
That's what they're all looking for. They're all looking for that 30-something that's going to come in and turn the organization around. And
it helps when you've been bad for like 10 years and you've stockpiled a number of top 10 picks on your team.
Well, Jeff Fisher said he was the reason they're good this
There you
year.
go. See?
Yeah, did you hear that one?
No, I did not hear that.
Yeah, he came right out and said, I basically laid the foundation for that team. Really, Fisher? What do you win? The most, like 6-7 games?
Wow.
Tennessee got them to a Super Bowl. I think if Malarkey would have lost this weekend, the Tennessee Titans, he probably would have been fired. Still could be fired with the poor showing against Kansas City. But I guess my biggest surprise, getting back to your question, was the Baltimore loss. They're at home.
At home, everything to play for. Right?
But sometimes that's a little more pressure than a Cincinnati, who also, I think they won the previous week too. I think they knocked out Detroit, but they couldn't handle the Vikes. Cincinnati.
A lot of teams couldn't, as the Vikes went 13-3. So I'll ask the next question. There, are we going to do the picks now, or are we going to wait for that for the big grand?
Oh, that's the finale.
That's the finale.
Are we going all the way through, or are we just picking this weekend?
No, we'll go all the way through. I think,
Okay.
shouldn't we? I might have to get out a piece of paper and bracket it all up because it's not. I wasn't
So I don't
studying
see
it
a paper and I don't see any pens, so I don't know when you're going to plan on doing this.
See, right? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're a teacher.
Always in the pocket.
You're a
Have to
teacher.
be ready to go.
Usually teachers have red pens.
Yeah, I don't carry one of those in my pocket. That's only grading time for that.
Okay, so we'll talk a few other little things and we'll get to it.
Let's talk.
I got a bowl.
Yeah, let's talk U.S. Junior hockey.
Okay,
can
sure.
we?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the outdoor game?
Don't like them.
Don't like them at any level.
Not anymore.
It's burnt out.
It's burnt out.
It's past. Yeah, I agree.
I think it should be used for one thing and one thing only now, and that's Hockey Day Minnesota, and keep her in the high schools. And
Did you watch Monday's game then between the Rangers and Buffalo?
Nope.
Because
Why would I watch that?
I don't know. Just
No interest.
Because you're a hockey.
I just do not. The outdoor games. I mean, the cameras are way in the heck back. The fans are 2 miles away.
The shadows. I don't know. The shadows were. It made it very difficult.
That
to
makes
watch.
it dangerous too. I mean, the goalies can't see as well. I just tired of the. I thought it added some intrigue to the hockey game with the U.S. and the Canada, but I'm guessing both teams would have rather played it on ice. And I found out Casey Middlestat is basically now I put him in the real deal category.
You changed your mind.
Well, I didn't really have a mind that would have been changed. I just said I want to see what he does against Team Canada. Now they got Sweden tomorrow. Probably Team Canada. Looks like they had a first-round bye right into the finals with two teams they had to play because Finland got beat yesterday.
Right.
And so now they play Sweden and Canada and Middlestat. I think they're overplaying him a little bit.
Okay.
Tons of power plays yesterday. It seemed like him and that number 8, the Fox, were on the ice the whole game. Not as big a fan of Fox as I am of Middlestat, but Middlestat's he'll be in Buffalo next year, Ringer. He'll be playing for the Sabres, probably on a line with Eichel and Kane will be out of there. Maybe Pominville.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
That'll be interesting. So
I've enjoyed it. Yeah.
So who wins the junior title?
Canada will win. Yeah, I think they just got too much depth. The Americans have lost 3 players now, I believe, counting the big kid out of Boston, and then they lost number 10, who's one of their better players. And I think Coach Motzko's probably overplaying some of his key players a little bit, but there's no tomorrow now. I mean, you got to win, and I'd be real surprised if the Americans beat Sweden tomorrow. I think Sweden will win that game.
Wow. Okay. So Sweden,
which
Canada
will kill.
Final
Yeah, there's nobody at the games either, Ringer. And so they need Canada and U.S. in the finals to fill up that arena. If they don't get those two teams, the arena will be half filled again.
Okay, how about the Wild?
Nice.
We got our 4 out of 6 points as you hoped for.
Yeah, we did, and could have been 6 out of 6. Kind of a tough third period. Had some bad breaks.
Yeah, it was 0-0 going to the third.
But they still played well, and they played well enough to win all 3. They played extremely well last night. Took the third period off, which can happen.
In a 4-1 game.
And you got to remember, Florida came at them pretty good. I'm sure they got a good butt chewing out by Coach Bogner, and so good win. Parise looked great. I thought Cullen played his best game of the year. I was down on Cullen a little bit last week, but I'm sure he's loved to hear this. He's back in Bully's good graces. Really?
That's what it's all about right there, Matt Cullen.
Yeah, Foligno actually, Chris Stewart didn't do anything again last night. And by looking at how the lineup was put out last night with Chris Stewart playing with Parise and Coyle, I can see Nino slipping into that spot real easily. And I predict Chris Stewart will be sitting out Thursday against Buffalo.
Okay.
And I hope he has to sit out a long time. He does not finish checks, Ringer. You know what I mean by finishing checks?
I do.
All I have to do is Cal Clutterbuck. That's finishing a check. Okay, if you're a role player and your job is to get under the skin of other players on the other teams, that's what you do. You finish checks.
Sure.
He had 5 opportunities. I counted them because I watched the game again this morning when I got up. He had 5 opportunities to finish a play with a check on an opponent. Refused to do it. Why is he out there? That is the only role he serves. Okay.
Well, yeah, but he scored in the first.
That's the problem. Is you put him on a second or third line, and now he thinks he's a player. He's not. He's not a player, Ringer. He's a role player, and he's out there to bang bodies and to stir up the stuff for the other team. And
sure.
We need more guys like that. We don't have anybody. Foligno's close, but he just goes haywire once in a while. Just decides to fight a guy for no reason. But we don't have a Victor Arvidsson who basically beat the Wild on his own the night the Wild lost 3-0. I mean, he was hitting everything and anything.
Right.
He was trying to be a pest, and he's a good player. He's a top 6 player, and he's doing that. So the Wild need to find, maybe Parise can be that guy. He is kind of an antagonist a little bit, but the Wild need more guys like that play on the edge and get in the face of the other team.
So Parise's back. Who's the guy? Who's kind of the odd guy out?
Stewart.
Stewart's the odd guy out.
Not a question. Guaranteed. And I have not read anything.
Does he go on the trading block?
Bruce Boudreau, watch the tape. You watch the tape of last night's game, and that tells you right there who should sit out Thursday against Buffalo. The only good thing they did bring it up last night is these guys are all competing. If you notice, Foligno's game was better last night. Ennis's for the last 2 weeks, he's been top 9, even top 6. Okay, these guys know Parise and Nino are coming back, so they know that their jobs are being monitored, and if they don't play well, they'll be sitting up there with Bobby Mason in the presser.
There you go. You mentioned we mentioned last week Dumba up there with Suter. They changed that. They changed them back and split them apart. Good, bad.
Did you watch the game?
I did not get to see the game.
Dumba just is a different player. He's just confident. He's going and he's hitting and he's making plays, and it was a good move. Spurgeon's played well last night. And
had 3 assists, I think, I saw, right?
Yeah, 3 assists, and Suter, of course, likes playing with Spurge, and Brodeen's played well, but Dumba's really made that next step. 7 goals now, and who else played well last night was Olofsson. So if Olofsson could keep playing, big body, I'd rather see him playing ahead of Riley. So then Prosser's there for being Prosser. He is kind of a jerk back there. We need that.
What else you want to talk? What else is on your mind? We kind of hit the 3 biggies.
Well, Gophers basketball play tonight. Big game against Illinois.
Start of the Big Ten season. And
Tito called them a scrappy team. They play a little different. They don't let
Illinois is scrappy.
Yeah, they don't let you set things up. They try to take you out of your rhythm. So the Gophers, I think they'll have a lot of good inside chances tonight, and we'll see. I'm tired of hearing about Murphy's doubles. Let's go out there and
well, here's
we need more players.
Here's the thing about Murphy and Lynch. You would think being 6'8", 9, 10, whatever the heck they are, and built like this wide. And then I watched them against Harvard last Saturday in the first.
They're a little soft.
First 10 minutes, I mean, the basket's right here.
Yeah.
Finish.
Yeah.
Go up there,
Yeah.
and you don't have to dunk it, but go up there and quit fading away and all this other crap.
Worrying about how cool they look
God.
instead of just finishing.
Just finish.
Yeah.
Go in there and whatever. So I was down on them. I'm still down on them a little bit.
Right now, they're a borderline NCAA team ringer. Right now, they are. They probably got to go. What do they got? 16 games. I would say minimum 9-7, probably 10-6 in the Big Ten to get in. I mean, that's they got.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
They only
win
got
it.
7 of those at home. They're gonna probably have to win three or 4 on the road. So
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, hopefully they can come around.
be
and
the biggest disappointment in Gopher basketball history if this team doesn't make the tournament.
Absolutely.
Biggest disappointment.
Oh, absolutely. That's.
I mean, Mason, even up until his injury, has been average.
Huh?
I mean, he carried this team last year. He was the guy. He was the ringleader. Maybe he's getting a little fed up with hearing about Lynch and Murphy all the time.
Could be.
But I don't know if he's playing tonight or not. He was questionable. But
I know they were saying in the paper on Sunday that straight ahead, everything was good. Trying to go lateral was kind of tough. No sense playing them against Harvard.
What was your go-to shot
My go-to shot?
in hoops?
Well,
Were you underneath the boards?
I played some out there, but I like shooting from the wing, 15 to 20 feet away on the wing.
No.
That was my spot. Off the free throw line extended. I felt very confident. I don't know what it was. That was a good angle on the basket for me for some reason.
Okay. Well, mine was a fadeaway jumper.
Fade away.
Well, being 5'10" and 3/4, I didn't really quite have the height, so I kind
Tough
of
to
had
do that in skates, though.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
but I did the fadeaway. It was my shot, usually from the the right hand side, 10 to 12 feet out.
There you go.
That was my shot.
So we want to move. We're going to get right into the picks.
Yeah.
You ready to move on? Before we do that, I do want to make a couple of mentions. Had a chance to watch the girls hockey team, the Bronco girls hockey team.
Very good.
The 4-3 overtime win on Saturday down at the Schwann's Cup. They mixed up some lines. Your brother did some juggling of the lines, moved somebody in at the defense, and
Who did he move?
he moved Grace Bragg back from the forward line back to
Interesting.
play some D. And I thought she played for. I don't remember Grace ever playing D before. I thought she did
Her
very
brother
well.
played D.
And I enjoyed watching them. They played with a little zip, and of course the overtime winner by Marissa Carey was fun to watch and get a chance to call on the radio. So that was a lot of fun. And the Bronco hockey team 1-2, a couple of 2-0 losses in War Road. And so we had some good times, and of course now January's here. I don't know if anybody's looked at the schedule over the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks. It just gets absolutely crazy. Tuesdays and Fridays are absolutely full. Saturdays. This Saturday, five of the Bronco teams are in action. This Saturday, January 6th.
Wow.
Girls hockey is at home. Boys hockey is in Silver Bay. The boys basketball team is at home against Crosby. The swimming teams, I mean, it's just every day. It seems like if it's a Tuesday, a Friday, and a Saturday, there are high school sports out there. It's hopefully going to make January fly right by.
That usually helps because January is like the longest month of the year. It lasts like 3 months.
Yeah.
It's like, my April, May, and June go is faster than January.
I agree.
Like, what's the old saying? It's like molasses and Souls molasses in January. They don't say Souls molasses in June.
No, they do not.
No, they do not.
No, they do not.
And it ain't because it's cold, because molasses isn't that big of a deal in the cold. I'm just saying the saying came from the fact that January just lasts longer than June.
It does. There's no doubt about it.
And molasses has a lot of different ingredients in it that doesn't prevent it from going slow. It's made of a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar in that old molasses. Let's talk AFC or NFC. Which one do you want to go first?
Well, let's go to the amateur side first.
AFC. So let's go to the AFC.
It's like the non-exciting bracket. I mean, these are probably the 4 worst teams in NFL history together as a group to make the playoffs.
Okay.
We got Tennessee, first of all, at Kansas City.
And is that the reason why it's the 3:30 game on Saturday? Because it's kind of the preliminary It's the most boring of the four. So,
well, yeah, you got the primetime game. I think Buffalo Jacksonville has to be worse than that.
Could be.
But that's a Sunday game. It's going to help out in a way, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But, yeah, the first game, 3:30 on, well, we'll tackle Saturday first.
Yeah.
3:30, of course, they changed that. Before they used to be noon and 3:30. Of course, now they want the primetime market, and so the first one's 3:30. We got Tennessee Titans
against the KC.
Minus DeMarco Murray, with Marcus Mariota, who's got more interceptions than touchdown passes this year.
Wow, I did not realize
against the Kansas City Chiefs, who has a team that can be really good, or that other team that lost 5 in a row. So who do you got?
I'll take KC.
Because
they're at home.
The only reason?
Only reason.
Okay, I like Casey as well. DeMarco Murray's probably not going to play, which is probably a good thing. I mean, DeMarco Murray's, watching him this year.
It's done.
Paltry 3 yards a carry. Derrick Henry had a much better year. Just seemed to get spot duty, 10 to 12 touches a game. I actually traded for Derrick Henry because Murray was hurt, and it ended up being kind of a mistake. It helped me get in the playoffs the last week, as Derrick Henry had a good last weekend, and I got in the playoffs because of it. So I am going to take the Chiefs 27 to 14 with Tyreek Hill scoring 2 long touchdown passes from Alex Smith.
Okay.
Be careful about Smith running too. He'll get 30 to 40 yards rushing. Alex tackle the first one, Atlanta at the LA Rams. I think the most difficult pick of the 4.
Yeah, this is a crazy game because Atlanta's been was there. They've been there recently with a team that's very similar. It's very interesting. This is LA's first time back in it. What can Goff handle the pressure of the playoffs? There's a lot of stuff going on there. Close, real close. Field goal at the final buzzer to win. I flip it.
What do you got?
LA Rams, it says.
Okay, well, LA Rams are favored, I believe, by 4.
Wow.
Goff, probably other than Carson Wentz, quarterback that kind of came out of nowhere this year. Of course, they got McVay, the coach,
right?
30-year-old, 31-year-old coach. He'll have the energy. He'll have the players ready. Gurley's probably has been the best running back. Will win the NFL MVP award this year.
He will win it. You made this prediction last year as well.
He will win it. Gurley will win it.
Okay.
And so I got Atlanta winning the game, though. I think the thing you mentioned early on in this was they've been there, they've done this. The coach has been there, they've done this. They learned from their mistakes.
Sure.
They had to win a big, crucial game against a good Carolina defense. LA Rams have a good defense. I don't think as good as Carolina. So I'm going to have Atlanta winning this, and of course covering then 24 to 20.
Okay. So we got Carolina at New Orleans.
Blowout city.
Blowout city.
Yeah.
Really?
New Orleans will win this by 3 touchdowns. I think Carolina will score a little bit, but it could be 41-20.
Wow.
41-20.
Why such a big
great
blow?
rushing game. Carolina has a hard time stopping the run. Drew Brees could actually use a lot of play action with Kamara out of the backfield, and Kamara and Ingram are the best 1-2 punch running back in the NFL. I think New Orleans defense is underrated. So I got blowout city. Cam Newton did not look good against Atlanta, and he doesn't really have the plethora of receivers that a lot of these teams have. And tries to push it into Greg Olsen. I think he had 12, 13 targets, 1 catch.
Wow.
Meaning, I'm trying to get it to him, and people know it, but we're double covering him. So Cam Newton will still put up his fantasy points, but I think blowout city, New Orleans 41-20.
Okay.
What about you there, big boy?
Boy, that's an interesting choice. I'd say closer, but I'd still go New Orleans again, just because the home thing. And I agree with you. Cam Newton did not look good over the weekend, so I like that's a very good assessment.
Now what do we do? Because we got
we got a little bit different. That's all right. So let's go back to the AFC.
Yeah.
We've got.
We really have to.
Well.
New England and
okay, Pittsburgh and New England are going to win.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter who they played. Okay, you want to come? You want to finish?
No, we don't have to analyze, regardless of who's against.
Yeah.
Kansas City. against New England, proven that they beat them earlier in the year. Okay, Labor Day week, Thursday. They did beat New England. It wasn't a fluke. They were the better team.
Yeah.
But New England's defense has gotten much better. So New England will still win. And New England and Pittsburgh, who do you got?
We've been
Getting to the Super Bowl.
We've been
in Minneapolis.
We've been talking New England all year. I don't see any reason to go any other way. And now they got James Harrison. So
you're starting to drink Bully's Kool-Aid.
I am drinking the Bully Kool-Aid.
Here's the deal. New England will win. It will be tight. It will be a fun, exciting game. Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown will be playing. I think he'll play even the week before that, but he looks to be good to go. Don't know if he would have played if they would have had to play this weekend, but Pittsburgh's got the offense. They can keep up with them. As you notice, New England's been trying to run the ball a little more and try to keep that down. So New England will still win, and New England will be in Minneapolis for the Super Bowl.
I agree. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the more important side then. So now we've got we've got
LA or Atlanta. I got Atlanta going to Philly.
Yeah.
And you would have then the Vikings in LA.
That's what I would have.
And then on the other side, you'd have New Orleans going against Philly. Who do you have winning that game?
I'm going to take Philly, even though the Nick Foles thing still scares people. They went, 14-2 or 13-3, whatever the heck it is, for a reason. I mean, Carson Wentz was a big part of that, but there's other members of that team, and I think even though they may not have looked great over the last 3 weeks, I think with 2 weeks to kind of get healthy, prepare, get situated, LA, in my mind, or New Orleans, excuse me, coming into the cold in Philly, I think that'll make a big difference, and I think Philly wins that game. But again, fairly close touchdown or so. Hey,
Jay Ajayi is injured also.
Oh, I did not know that.
So he does have a knee issue, but they got lots of Clement, he's really good. Garrett Blunt. I don't know. I see New Orleans as being the most dangerous team to the Vikings and Philly. Okay, so if Atlanta does win, the Vikings would have New Orleans, which I think is a lot more dangerous matchup than if they played LA.
Okay.
So my prediction is still going to be Minnesota getting to the Super Bowl, but Philadelphia, or getting to the finals, but Philadelphia will not get through, regardless of if they play Atlanta or if they play New Orleans. Okay. That's who they'll play, one of those two.
Yep.
I guess they could play Carolina too, but I got Philly getting knocked out.
Philadelphia loses in the semis.
They're in trouble. It's so obvious. And, the second game didn't tell me nothing against Dallas because he only played a couple series, but he was 4 of 11 ringing with an interception. The game before is the one that worries me.
Sure.
Okay. And then the other one, he was up against the Giants, and, I could throw 4 touchdown passes against the Giants. I still got an arm.
Still got it. 1978 is not that long ago.
Yeah. But anyways, I got the Vikings
hosting New Orleans.
Hosting
New Orleans.
Yes.
Deja vu 2009. Here we go again. 8 years.
Well, they could have Atlanta. Deja vu to 1998. Who's the other one? Philly. We haven't had a deja vu with them. But I got the Vikings reaching the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I think that defense is the best in the football. There's some things you don't see. Do we get a lot of sacks? Well, we do okay. Do we get a lot of turnovers? We do okay. We're not big in those departments. What we are good at is confusing the other team into making mistakes on the field, meaning 3 and dones. Or 5 and done, 6 and dones. The offenses against the Minnesota Vikings kick a lot of field goals. Between the 20s they do okay, but the Vikings defense is the best, bar none, in football. And Zimmer knows how to prepare a team, and I don't see anybody getting through that.
So I was reading in the Minneapolis paper over the weekend that usually the Super Bowl venue needs 5 weeks to get ready. They're already losing 2 weeks because the Vikings play at home, because the team basically has to cede control of the stadium to the NFL. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that the Vikings play at home in 2 weeks,
Yep.
They play at home in 3 weeks,
Yep.
And they play at home in 5 weeks.
Yep.
it's going to screw everything up for the Super Bowl, and you're damn happy.
That's what we want to do. I mean, we don't want.
We want the NFL.
We do not want the NFL to be happy.
There you go.
You know, they got other things to worry about.
They've got other things to worry about.
But I say the Vikings in New England, and I'm trying to figure out. We have to be connected. We got our own show.
We should be able to get in.
KCC TV has to have tickets to this game for us. How do we get tickets? We got to get in.
We got to get in.
I mean, I'm sure there's executives with the NFL watching our show.
I'm sure.
And if you got an extra ticket we'll need two.
We'll need to.
Yeah, because we come as a group or team, or anybody out there that feels sorry for two guys with passion and love for the sport of football can get us 2 tickets so we can do a sports back talk with Bowie and Ringer live at the Super Bowl, and then also so we can sit there and watch the game.
That'd be pretty cool.
Anybody. I mean, you don't even have to like us. Just get us the tickets.
I'll say this about that situation. I went out for dinner with my wife on New Year's Eve. We sat with a couple from Fort Francis. We talk about being football fans. These people are Vikings fans. Vikings fans. There's nobody else. They go to a Vikings game, at least one Vikings game per year. They don't have season tickets, but they make it down and they make a weekend of it. And I said, okay, if they make the Super Bowl, we're going. The wife said, we're going. She said, I don't care what it costs, we're going. And I'm like, but what if it's like 6,000? Doesn't matter.
It's going to be 10,000 to 12,000 for the couple.
We're going. And I'm like, whoa, that's a price tag. That's making an investment. That's like selling a car or something to get to go. It'll be interesting.
The thing is, I follow Tommy Kramer now on Twitter.
You follow Tommy Kramer?
Oh, he's been great. He's like back in Minnesota, and he goes to Duluth and has fun, and he's always makes kind of fun.
Wow.
Yeah, so Tommy, you get us tickets, man.
There you go. Okay, so we've got our picks. Who wins the biggie? Who wins it all?
Well, that's a good one. This is the most homer I've ever been in my life.
Okay.
You know how I am about that.
I do.
I got the Minnesota Vikings breaking that hex, breaking that whatever it is.
Against your New England
Against my New England Patriots because of that defense.
Wow.
I mean, Brady's looked average. And people have commented, the long season, 16 games plus another 2 in the playoffs. He's a tired man. He's 40 years old.
I just watched during the week on the Herd that they think he's going to be the MVP of the NFL.
I don't see it.
With Carson Wentz not being available,
Gurley.
I know what you're saying, but these guys were sitting there.
Quarterbacks definitely usually have the edge, and they just keep winning. But it's coming to an end.
Wow.
And this could be the end of the New England Patriots. Okay, this could be the end of their long tenured regime. I see some dropping off.
You heard it here first,
and,
people.
it's going to be because of the Minnesota Vikings, because that defense is going to be too good.
All right, make your final prediction. Here it comes. FCS championship game Saturday, 11 a.m. North Dakota State versus James Madison for all the marbles. Do the Bison get their title back, or does James Madison?
And James Madison will keep it close in the first half, and the Bison will blow them out. I'm guessing 38-14.
Wow.
Yeah, Bison are too good right now. They are playing very good. Carson Stick, been on the money, the quarterback, putting up Carson Wentz type numbers. So North Dakota State.
Overtime. Bison in overtime.
Awesome.
For the national championship.
By the way, I talked to my sister and my brother-in-law. They were on Highway 29 heading south
to Texas.
So my sister Barb was driving. Terry was in the passenger seat, and they said they were going to try to go about another 7-8 hours and then pull over somewhere near Oklahoma City. So, typical males in International Falls. Remember when we had the show? And the women came in, they were actually very courteous, walked underneath the camera.
You didn't even realize the camera's on them right there, right behind. Look at that.
What are you doing?
Laddie, we're taping a TV show.
Right here?
Right here in Looney's.
What the
Our
hell's
favorite
going on?
favorite place to be. Our favorite place to be.
But did you notice that? 3 males have walked by, don't even care about the show. Well, they think we're just we're just a bunch of couple idiots sitting up here talking to nobody. Yeah. So, anyways, Lad Koczynski, who's Ewald, and Gordy Dahl.
Yep.
2 school teachers, ex-school teachers.
There we go.
I rest my case, Ringer.
There you go. We know how to get in everybody's way, I guess. So,
anyways, we got to do one more.
One more.
Alabama.
Oh, Alabama, yeah.
Georgia.
Alabama,
I mean, I know that's
Georgia,
dear to your heart, but I'll still give you my prediction. Alabama in a blowout. Won't even be
in a
close.
blowout.
Hey, Clemson couldn't even play with them. They got their linebackers. You see those linebackers?
Well, see, did I make that statement here
That
a couple weeks ago?
Fitzpatrick,
I
that
told
safety?
you that they were
Oh,
going to get these
my
kids
goodness.
back,
I
and
wish
that
the
was going to make
Vikings-
a big difference.
The Vikings could get that Fitzpatrick, that safety from Alabama, next to Harrison Smith-White.
So what did you think of Michelle, the running back for Georgia? Did you watch?
Nice player. What do you get? 4 touchdowns?
He's smooth.
Yeah, is he Herschel Walker like?
No, he's not.
He's only a freshman too, right?
He's going to be playing on Sunday someday if things don't.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Probably in 2-3 years.
That's a kid that is just like, wow, I can't wait to see what this kid can do. Close.
Really?
Closer. I'm going to say
High scoring. It better be if Georgia's going to
if
keep
Georgia's
it close.
going to win, it's going to have to go high scoring.
Yeah.
I'm going to go about 28-24.
Okay, that's fair. Alabama,
Probably.
Crimson Tide.
Probably. As much as it pains me,
It
probably.
sounds
say-
like you don't want to go the other team.
I don't
be
I-
somebody.
I don't want to
Go
see
off the grid
Alabama
once in a
win it,
while,
But
Ray.
you're right. They had Clemson not knowing which way was up.
No.
They
Clemson's a great football team.
Yeah.
They were number 1 for a reason, but
Yeah, they made them look. I used the words the other day, pedestrian. They looked like a normal run of the day and everyday team. Clemson was just. Somebody said they never tried to stretch them. They never tried to stretch.
Yeah.
Soon as it was Kirk Herbstreit actually who said it. As soon as those guys could suck up, and Alabama was putting 8 in the box and saying, "Look, try to throw deep on us."
Yeah.
And Clemson wouldn't do it. Georgia's going to have to do it. Kirk Herbstreit said they're going to have to stretch them and give it a try. And they need to heed that because once Alabama smelt that blood,
yeah.
it was
10-6 at half, right?
yeah.
And they turned that ball over, that one turnover by the big defensive lineman, that changed the game.
And then
because they were driving. Clemson was driving for the go-ahead touchdown.
And then they intercepted the next pass and returned
After that,
it, and
it
it
was
was
game time.
it was game over.
Now, was Kirk Herbstreit whining about Ohio State not getting in
No.
the Final Four?
No.
Good, impressive run by the Big Ten.
Big Ten,
Thanks a lot, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh,
ruining
you
the
idiot.
undefeated. Yeah, he should be fired.
Well, they said he's got one more year to figure it out. But if he doesn't beat Michigan State and Ohio State next year,
Done.
he's done.
Really?
I cannot even believe that they're saying that. That's what somebody said. If he doesn't win both those games next year, he's 1-5.
Who they bring in then? Desmond Howard?
I don't know who they bring in.
Wow.
Scary.
That's scary. Anything
Scary
else?
stuff. I think that's about it.
That's good for this week. Thanks for
everybody.
watching. Don't take us too serious.